Let's go. It's a me, a Mario.
The Super Mario movie has dropped their second trailer. I don't know what I was expecting to see in the second trailer for the Super Mario movie, but I'll tell you, it wasn't everything that they just revealed to us. Oh my god, guys, they basically just showed us the movie of the century. Like, seriously, a lot of us were already very excited once they announced an animated Super Mario movie. That could be a lot of fun. Then we saw the poster and then the first teaser trailer. It really made us go, oh, this could actually be fantastic. Now here, I'm willing to say it, this movie's gonna be perfection. This might be the first time in a long time where I don't even care if the story of this movie is any good or not, because they have gotten the Super Mario world down so amazingly. Like, seriously, this has literally brought to life a lot of the video game characteristics and are somehow managing to throw it all into one movie. I did not expect to get any Mario Kart goodness from the first film. I thought they'd save that for like a sequel. But trying to contain my excitement a little bit, what I'm going to be doing here for you guys is giving you my trailer breakdown for the Super Mario movie. I'll be pointing out some Easter eggs you might have missed, pointing out little details here and there, and also talking about the plot that we do have a better idea of thanks to a lot of leaked posters that unfortunately I will not be able to show you in this video. Nintendo and Universal have become very strict about their leaks lately, so if I even show you an ounce of what was leaked yesterday before the trailer, this video will get taken down. But if you really do want to see it, it's still up on my TikTok. Don't you dare look at that, Miyamoto! But even though I can't show you that stuff, it did confirm something we all had an assumption of with this Super Mario movie, and that yes, Mario and Luigi will be from the real world, or a version of the real world, before they get sucked into the Mushroom Kingdom through a couple of green pipes. They are sticking with the original cartoons and even the original live-action Super Mario movie, where the brothers will indeed be plumbers. You get a couple of those scenes here in this trailer where the Super Mario brothers are shaking hands about to go do a job. It's something that they take a lot of pride in, it looks like, and you can see Mario is doing his best to be the ultimate plumber, fixing leaky pipes and making sure it's his brother that carries around the plunger. Now, in the promo photos, it made it very clear that they are located in Brooklyn, New York. Some fans are hoping that it's actually Brooklyn located in New Donk City. That's a map in Super Mario Odyssey that is very much inspired by New York. It could be New Donk City, but I'm thinking it might just end up being New York, and it could explain their Brooklyn accents in this movie. It's also worth mentioning that in these promos, we also got our first look at Pauline, confirming that it looks like she'll have some sort of role in the movie. In Mario's history, Paulina was kind of Mario's first girlfriend, so kind of like his Gwen Stacy. If not, she has also been known to be the mayor of New Donk City, so that could also be her involvement in the movie. But the other important reason I bring this up is not only because there was an Easter egg in there where they were using the original Super Mario name as Super Mario Bro Plumbers, down to Mario doing the iconic jump pose and everything on their van. This will actually play a big part whenever Mario gets sucked into the Mushroom Kingdom. It's said that because they call themselves the Super Mario Bros, or Mario refers to himself as Super Mario, when he eventually gets sucked into this Mushroom Kingdom world, a lot of people will take that to believe that he actually has some sort of super ability and can be the savior they need from Bowser, who's going around taking all the power stars. That finally brings us here to the beginning of the trailer, where Mario finds himself in Donkey Kong Country about to face off with Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong, where he enters an arena filled with a bunch of other Kong creatures that are supposedly chanting his name, Mario, when I highly doubt that, and I think that's just something they edited in for the trailers. They're definitely cheering on Donkey Kong here, as these are his people, and you can even see people in the background holding up the signature DK letters. I love also how in this moment we hear Chris Pratt say the words, "Let it go."
Let's go.
One of his very famous catchphrases. Also, side note, at this point, the voices I could care less about, honestly. Everybody sounds suitable enough. Sure, Mario takes a little getting used to, but Anna Taylor-Joy as Peach sounded great. Charlie Day as Luigi also sounds fantastic. I want to hear a little bit more of Donkey Kong, but I'm sure I'm going to be fine as long as Seth Rogen doesn't do his signature laugh. The other thing I love about this stadium and their battle, it is basically replicating the original Super Mario game, where a version of Mario and Donkey Kong were first fighting off down to the ladders and the structure. This to me, as a longtime Mario fan, is so amazing that they were able to somehow incorporate this into the movie. It feels so natural in here, and I can't wait to see the extended version of this scene, because I hope it's not just Donkey Kong slapping around Mario, although I wouldn't mind it. Now, in the same location, we cut to Peach and Toad, who are sitting next to Cranky Kong. Just like in the video games, he is the elder here, and it looks like he's someone who oversees these games and are just trying to test Mario to see if he's really the warrior he claims to be as Super Mario, which is probably what this whole battle is for, trying to earn the respects and needing the help of the Kongs to go after Bowser. That then brings us to this shot here that has to become a meme of Luigi getting magicked in, most likely by Kamek, who we saw in the first trailer, where I feel this further backs up the theory that the Mario Bros will be separated for most of the movie until somewhere in the midway point or towards the end where they reunite. We also saw in the first trailer that Luigi was being chased by a bunch of dry bones, ending up in Bowser's castle, so this is most likely how he got in the hands of Jack Black's Bowser, where he's attempting to get information about where Mario is. This is also where I want to say, so far the humor that they've introduced in the Mario movie is working for me. This scene made me laugh, made me chuckle. It's none of that lowbrow humor I was afraid was going to be introduced here. Everything so far feels very natural within the Mario world, and I love that. Now, this specific shot here where we just get a bunch of enemies within the Mario world, we could talk about for days, but just going quickly off the main things we can catch here. As soon as we get into the shot, we get a couple of bats flying in the air. These are known as swoopers. Now, if only I could remember the name of all these turtles and shells. Chris Pratt, can you help me out?
Koopas.
That's right, Koopas. We also have Goombas being stacked up like they sometimes do in the Mario games. A couple of plant piranhas in the back. I love me plant piranhas. I'm glad they're being included in the movie. We got a couple of Shy Guys also running. Still so funny to me that that is their name in the games, Shy Guys. And even one of the ticking bomb bombs running off here. I also want you guys to pay attention. They're definitely partying in this moment. So they feel that Bowser has gotten the upper hand. He's maybe gotten enough power stars, and they think that their job is complete, which is why they're partying. And that's kind of a side of these Mario villains we don't get a lot of, so I'm glad it's being included here. Moving on further, here we have the Mushroom Kingdom that is about to be invaded by Bowser's flying castle, where we see Peach and the Toads are quickly trying to think of a way for how to defeat them. I love how we get to see all the little islands within the Mushroom Kingdom. Now, you should also know this isn't the entirety of the world, because we are missing the Ice Kingdom that we saw from the teaser. That's the one that had all the penguins in it. That's nowhere to be found here. But we do have Bowser's Island and his castle floating off to these other islands, one of them even being reminiscent to a lot of the desert islands in Super Mario. This island in particular is the one I'm going to say is Donkey Kong Island, or Donkey Kong Country, whatever you want to call it. The main reason I know that is because of the statue Donkey Kong head they have here. They've had a similar head in the video games, and you can also see this sort of same sculpture in the arena in the background. Other than seeing how beautiful the inside of Peach's castle looks like, I also want you guys to pay attention that Peach is not going to be kidnapped in this movie. A lot of us were assuming the classic Mario storyline, Peach gets captured by Bowser, then Mario has to go rescue her. In this movie, Peach is not getting captured at all. She is standing her ground against Bowser, but it looks like he will eventually steal their Power Star, and then when Super Mario shows up, the trio will gang together to go across country to all these different islands to make sure Bowser doesn't get their Power Star. Here we even see that Peach is trying to train Super Mario with giving him an obstacle course filled with fake piranha plants, these fake cannons that shoot the bullet, and even the fake fireballs that we are all annoyed from the Super Mario levels. I actually really love that they included this in here, and I kind of can't wait to see this training montage that ensues. It's definitely gonna let Peach know that this guy is not Super Mario and he's kind of a fraud, but at the end of the day, this is still Mario. He will become the hero of our movie, so he'll get better at these courses, and it also gives him an idea of the Mushroom Kingdom, or this world in particular. But once it looks like Mario is all trained up and ready to take on Bowser, the trio head off on their journey to these other islands, where we see a bunch of Cheep Cheeps flying out of the water, and look, hear me out.
Give me that Cheep Cheep. Give me that Cheep Cheep.
It also looks like Peach is going to be important to teach Mario other rules about this world, because we see here eventually she ends up in a field filled with fire plants. Now, if you remember, these plants give you an ability in the Mario games where you get to shoot out a little fireball, and it also changes your outfit to white and red, which, if you'll notice, that's exactly what happens to Princess Peach here. She changes from her pink dress into this white and red one. That's a really cool touch right there, and that won't be the only suit Mario would possibly be getting in this movie, because we also get to see Mario gliding in the Tanuki suit. Now, you could call it that, or you could just go with what I've always said in my head as a kid, and I bet a lot of you would say, the raccoon suit. That's what I called it. Maybe you said squirrel suit, chipmunk, whatever. We know what this suit is. Now, you'll also want to pay attention here because you can see Mario is gliding away from a chain chomp, another famous Mario villain we are all familiar with. Really cool that they added that in there. Now, this scene here I think is really interesting because it could be the first time Mario and Luigi get sucked out of their world and are about to be sent to the Mushroom Kingdom. We see that they're exiting a green pipe and they're entering this sort of colorful abyss that is awesome. Can you only imagine what other worlds are in these other pipes? Mario Galaxy, you gotta be in there somewhere for the sequel.
With a lot of galaxies.
We also get a quick glimpse here of a Yoshi Island filled with tons of colorful looking Yoshis. This to me basically confirms the one true Yoshi will be showing up at some point in this movie, and I really hope so. Donkey Kong might be my number one, but number two was always Yoshi. I loved me Yoshi in the Mario games, and I would love to see him pop up in here. Bringing us to the money shot of this trailer that I was not expecting at all. They're actually gonna be doing a version of Mario Kart in here. Not just that, they freaking brought in Rainbow Road, the most iconic track in all of Mario Kart. Rainbow Road. Movie's already a 10 out of 10. I don't need to see it. Well, I'm gonna see it, but you know what I mean. No idea how this will fit into the plot of the movie. I don't think it's an actual race, but maybe just a way for the characters to get from point A to point B as they're traveling to these different islands. But I do love how they gave Mario his signature car, even Toad with his big truck, as well as Peach with her motorbike, something she also tends to drive in the video games. Donkey Kong here with the big barrels in the back is great. Now, I would love to say the people behind are other famous Mario characters. It looks like it's just a bunch of people from the Kong family, because we have here Funky Kong in his do-rag and glasses right beside Donkey Kong, with what looks like Cranky Kong there off to the side and a bunch of other versions of Kong along with them. Funny enough, I don't see Diddy Kong anywhere, so maybe they're saving him for the sequel, but it looks like Mario eventually earns the respect of the Kongs and they will help him on his journey to fight Bowser. Honestly, guys, I don't know what else you could want from this. This is the reason right here why we have the animated movie over live action. There's just things they can implement here that they couldn't do in live action without it being super expensive. To me, this movie is looking great, so enjoyable, just eye candy with also a lot of nostalgia built in, at least for older people like me. This movie is gonna break all sorts of records. I can feel it. What do you guys think of the Super Mario trailer? Do you like this one? Your favorite Easter egg, speculating on the plot, anything and everything, be sure and hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I am Toad.